Alright, this is a behind the scenes tour of the Christmas on the Creek light show. Kind of show you how things are done kind of behind the scenes. See how all the magic is displayed, or how the sausage is made to some degree. So basically, most of these lights are LED, probably 80-90% of them are LED. There's a few that are incandescent. The jumbo lights along the walkway, those are incandescent, but most of the other LEDs, strings, are LEDs. And to make things basically turn on and off at specific points in time in synchronization with the music, it's pretty much just a controller. Each element or each string is basically turned on or off, or varying intensities at split-second intervals. And here's a sample of one of the controllers. So in here is this one is called a Renard. It's a Renard series. This one has 24 different channels. Each channel is basically a plug that plugs you plug a string of lights into, and this controller pretty much turns them on and off. There's probably about 20 or 30 different types of controllers. This is just one model that I had settled on. The cables in here, the dark cables on the right, those are the basically the plugs that are going out. We've got pretty much just one plug coming in for the power, 120 volts. This is all 120 volt fed. So we have 120 volts coming in, and then we have different controller or different plugs going out. This blue cable is the data, and they're all daisy chained. I think this is controller number 6. I've got 11 total that are in the show, and they're all daisy chained with the computer data going through each one. And on my second part of this behind the scenes tour, I'll show you the computer setup of it. But each plug can handle up to 2 amps. All this can't run more than 7 amps, but by the time we've got the different elements on and off at different points in time, it's usually running about maybe half an amp, if even less, per channel. This one box right here is 24 channels. Each of the arches has 8 strands of wire, or 8 strands of light. So you got one strand here, you got another one here, so you got 8 of them times 3 arches. That's pretty much 24 channels. So this one controller controls these 3 arches. I've got like blue number 5, blue number 7, blue number 1. This one's the white, and then the red goes over there. I've got a spreadsheet to keep track of which wire goes to which plug. It's about the only way to do it, to make it quickly get set up. These right here are the walkway lights. These are pretty much hardwired into where basically using Cat 5 cable. So it's a little bit cleaner, a little bit less crowded as far as cable wise. And then the cable pretty much stays intact, and it just feeds out into each individual light. So right here, I don't know, some of you may notice that this is a power pole connector. So each individual jumbo light plugs in. So I've got on this data rush, it's a Cat 5, but I'm using it as power. I've got 2 lights per strand. So with 8 pair of wires, I'm using 2 pair per light. So basically I can get 2 lights for each strand of Cat 5 cable. And those pretty much go down and feed all the way through to each individual light. So those are the jumbo lights. So there's each light is one channel, so I can control each individual lamp as needed, as far as turning on or off, or intensity, or flashing, or whatever. Also, as far as the columns, here are the columns for the porch. So you'll see, basically it's just a pegboard. There's 3 different sections of pegboard, and for each section it has basically white, red, and green strings of LEDs, and each one ties off to basically 3 plugs. So this is the white, the green, and the red. This is for the top section, this is for the middle, and this is for the bottom. Those all go into basically a harness that I built that kind of feeds those 3. It comes back over here, and so this is one column right here. This is another column right here. So this one controller, controller number 4, handles at least 2 of the 4 columns. And so that's kind of how that gets set up. I've got another controller over there, number 3, that controls that 3rd column, and also this bay window light frame. They're all tied together. Next year I'm going to split those out to where I can individually control these bay windows. And so there's the other controller. Here's one of the speakers. In this connector right here, you'll see this is the audio that's coming out from my office that we'll see here on part 2 of this. This is also the data cable that comes from the office that's in part 2, and it's just video cameras. So got 2 speakers out so people can hear it outside if they want to, or they can listen to it in the comfort of their home. And then my wife put out some snacks for the UPS, FedEx, Amazon deliveries, as we get quite a lot. Hence the new mat that she made.